We hope you didn't put your long johns away. Brace yourself. We are in for a bitterly cold week ahead. How cold will it get? I'll be answering that question coming up as well. Wildfires continue to rage on 3 continents. And our very own Jacqueline Whittall, she breaks down the dynamics for one particular area and why they continue to see these wildfires. Kasia Bedurka with you here with a look at your regional forecast. It's all about you now in the GTA and what kind of weather we're up against for tomorrow. Up against, well, it could be something out on the roads, especially since we're getting a little bit of snow. We're talking about a light dusting of snow, but it's the winds. It's the winds that's going to be making it particularly treacherous, really. Why? So with this wind graphic, we're showing you a lot of oranges. That means we're talking about sustained winds between 20 and 40 kilometers per hour, but where you're seeing the deeper reds. So right along this cold front here, we'll be seeing some sustained winds closer to 40K and then gusts closer to 60. So the blowing and drifting snow making for some bad driving conditions. In your Monday morning commute, it shouldn't be affected unless you're living to the north or you're heading to the north, because we do have some snow squalls behind this system. Sunday morning, here are your temperatures. -5 for the city of Toronto, -8 in Barrie, sun and clouds there. But we're already seeing the light dusting of snow move through the city of Toronto. But it's more so going to be an afternoon, evening story for you in Toronto. Windy conditions with that light snow. That sums up your weather story in a nutshell on your Sunday. Monday, we've just got some blustery conditions and then those snow squalls in behind that system, but temperatures are dropping ever so much by Tuesday, -16. Let's talk about those wildfires now. Here's Jacqueline.
After the driest year on record for parts of California, you're looking at the San Gabriel Mountains, and this is a forest fire, or a bush fire, that's caused by something called the Santa Ana winds. We'll talk a little bit about what that means meteorologically in just a second, but this is happening from LA all the way down to the Mexican border. Right now it's at a 2-acre blaze and spreading, and the main cause of this is the downsloping winds that I'll explain in a second, but also once the winds and the fire get going through the vegetation that is there, and that's called chaparral. And chaparral is like a quick igniter of, it's like fuel for these forest fires. So let's go to this next graphic here, and we'll talk a little bit about meteorologically why this happens. We have an area of high pressure that's in the western parts of North America, and that's part of the reason why BC is seeing such nice conditions and warming up in the prairies up through Calgary and Alberta. But when we have these winds coming out of the northeast, they subside in the mountain range and they warm significantly as they subside. They can race as fast as almost 100 kilometers per hour, and when they do, they warm, and that dry air grabs a hold of that chaparral and initiates a fire.
Go to the weather. Weak Clipper system moved through the area, and we've got more of the same coming up in your short-range future. Kasia Bedurka here with you with a look at your forecast, beginning with a peek at your Sunday. So we've got windy conditions, sustained winds between 20 and 30 kilometers per hour, gusts around 60, and that's going to be kicking up the light snow that we do have forecast. So how much snow? That's a big question, right? So throughout your day on your Sunday, it's mostly an afternoon evening story for you. In the city of Toronto, we're talking about less than 2 centimeters of snow. But again, remember, we've got the very strong winds. The further north you go, the heavier the amount of snow we are getting. And this is yet another Clipper system. Now, in behind it, though, this is the problem. If you didn't like that polar vortex air we had, it's on its way back, really. This is going to be an Arctic air mass. When you see the purples, the deep purples, move its way to southern Ontario, you know it's going to be super cold yet again. Monday, a daytime high of -7. Tuesday, -16. That's going to be your daytime high, and it's going to be feeling closer to -24. Yeah, so through the overnight, -8 for you in the city of Toronto, -8 for you in Hamilton as well. So put a little summer into your winter. Here's an idea. You may have heard the term winter mission a lot lately here on the Weather Network. Well, this here at the Toronto International Boat Show is the ultimate, the more exciting version of winter mission.
Polar vortex is gone. Come on down.
On average, 80,000 people check out the show annually, and if you want to be one of them, well, you have until the end of this weekend. For the Weather Network, I'm Kasia Bedurka. You can thank the downsloping winds and the placement of the jet stream for those so warm temperatures today. Saturday Sizzler, or Saturday Sizzle, I should say. That was the most popular hashtag used today, and we had tweeted it well early on. Chris Scott, head of meteorology here at the Weather Network, he said that because of the downsloping west winds, all-time January records within reach. And that really did happen. So we'll be talking about that coming up throughout the show. Meanwhile, in more layman's, or I should say slang terms, Eric P. had tweeted gnarly weather here. Hashtag Saturday Sizzle. Meanwhile, Atlantic storm is on its way. People using that hashtag as well.
The Weather Network's